Hello and welcome back to another episode of Accountants Lounge. I'm your host, Dawn Platten, and I'm here with Ashley Ford. And as two accountants growing virtual accounting firms, our websites are kind of a little bit of everything. So today we're talking about should you or should you not put your prices on your website? This is a hot topic. I know a lot of people have a lot of different ideas on this. As always, we invite you to comment below or hop on the discussion in our Facebook group. Let's hear what your experiences have been. We're going to share some of our experiences. And to preface all of this, Ashley and I, we both pretty strongly feel like, yes, you should put your prices on your website. But again, we're gonna peel back that layer and discuss more about why and how and when we even decided to do that, because I definitely did not start doing that. So some of the learning things along the way. So to start, Ashley, why do you have your prices on your website?
Okay, well, first of all, you said it so well. I do feel like this is such a hot topic because people want to know what's going to convert the sale. Like, what's going to
Right.
convert the customer? Should I have the price on there? Should I not? Is it going to turn them away? Do I want them to know what the price is up front? So I love that we're diving into this one today, and I'm super excited. Part of our brand, part of the Pretty Penny brand is all about transparency. We ask
Mm.
our team to be super transparent with each other, and really that just comes down to communicating really well. We ask our clients once they're on board with us, and even in like the discovery call process, we ask our clients to be really transparent with us about their business, and that can feel vulnerable. It's like they're showing us everything under the robe, right? Like we need to know all the dirty secrets so that we can do our job really well. So we're asking our clients to be really vulnerable and transparent with us. And I've always felt like not sharing the pricing up front is us not being transparent with them throughout the whole
Mm.
process. Like if we're going to ask for that transparency from them, I want them to get it from us from the beginning. So we have always been super open with what our prices are from the get-go so that people feel that transparency from us and are never we don't want our clients to feel surprised. No one likes
Yeah.
surprises around finances, so we just don't want our clients to feel surprised, and that's why we have our prices on our website right now.
Makes sense. I feel like ours is done for a very similar reason. Um, to me, it's just part of the package that we're listing. If I'm going to list out all the services and what's included, and if it's a monthly or a quarterly or an a la carte thing, to me, the price is part of that. Like it's as much as part of the package as me saying, you can email us or you can text us or we have this many Zoom meetings. Like
Yeah.
it's just part of all of that for me. Um, and it really, really, really helps filter clients. Like, I want clients who come to me already knowing, yes, they want to and they can work with me. And the full package that I'm offering, price and all, price, the turnaround time, the process, like all of these things, that's what they're committing and agreeing to. I don't want to have to like screen every single person who is looking for an accountant. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm looking for an accountant. Can I talk to you? And I'm screening every single person who's looking for an accountant. No, I want the people who to come to me who are looking for a virtual accountant. Who, I mean, our services are pretty. We have a few different ones, but like for example, our monthly accounting package. I want someone to come to me who's like, I want this and this and this and this done. All the things that are in our monthly accounting package. Boom. That's the person I want to talk to, not just the
Yeah.
person who i- has any interest in an accountant, but maybe doesn't want the things that we're selling. I don't know if that's coming across right, but all I'm saying is I don't want to talk to every single entrepreneur under
Yes.
the moon. I want to talk to entrepreneurs who know that they already want to work with me. And to me, pricing is one of those things. I've had a lot of success with our website of people coming on discovery calls, basically already telling me, hi, I can't wait to work with you. This is the package I want. Cool. Now let me just qualify you to make sure that you fit into that package, but I'm not doing any sales. I'm not referencing like I don't have to do anything because the website already did it all for me. And that's exactly what I want because it goes back to like automations in business and processes.
Yeah.
We love automating things. Take ourselves out of it. Same with sales and signing new clients. Take yourself out of it. Let your website do the conversion and work. And then to me, when I do discovery calls, I really want them to be like essentially part of the onboarding process. It
Yeah.
shouldn't be like a sales call. I don't want to sell anything. You already come to me knowing that you want to work with me. So for transparency, for sales process, for automating stuff, all those reasons I feel like have the price on there.
Yeah, and I know for me, as someone who hires service providers to help in different areas of my business, I don't want to get on a sales call or a discovery call and then get sticker shock by the price. I want to know
Mhm.
going into it, is this an investment that I'm comfortable with? Okay, now tell me more. I found out from your website exactly what this is going to include, but I've got some questions, or I want to get kind of a vibe check on the call to make sure we're going to be a good fit. But I don't like going into a call like that blind. And I think there was a time in my business that I didn't have the prices on my website. And I can vividly remember some calls where once I would say the price, I could hear like a pen drop on the other side because I think they weren't prepared one way or another. It was the
Yeah.
first time they were hearing it. They were then having to digest that information for the very first time. And I
And
didn't
I
like
was
that surprise feeling.
Yeah, and I will say a lot of times it's not necessarily a surprise feeling of like your prices are too high. It's a surprise feeling of they haven't thought about what the price would be.
Right. Right.
So they
And they don't
haven't even
know.
had that like gut check of, does that make sense to me or not? Because they haven't put a price tag to anything. They just know I'm wanting these things. And then you put a price tag to it, and that's the first time they're putting dollar signs to the service that they're asking for.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so I was gonna run on that for a second, but I want to play devil's advocate here for just a minute. So there are a lot of people who don't like to put their prices on their website. And I think a big or something that I'll hear often about why you don't want to put the prices on the website is that people are going to judge you just based on that price. They're going to make that decision based on the price alone. So they're going to go to your website, they're just looking for the price, they see what the price is and think, I don't feel good about that for one reason or another, or that's not within my budget, or I don't want to spend that, or they're making an assumption on what the service is going to be about, and they make a decision just based on that price, and they immediately say no. And so then the service provider feels like they are missing out on that sale because they immediately shied someone away with the price that they were listing right out there without getting to
Yeah.
really sell themselves. So how would
Yeah.
you combat that thought process?
I mean, first, I'm going to validate that because that's exactly how I was beginning on my business. I also didn't have my prices fully set. Like I was still
Mm.
playing around with prices, so I didn't want to put any prices on the website because I was constantly like feeling around and tweaking and trying to find the economics of like the price and
Mhm.
demand. So validate that. I get that. Now, after 5 years of experience or whatever. Again, my own experience, so take it for what you want. That's what this whole series that Ashley and I do, and not even just like the YouTube channel or whatever, like Accountants Lounge as a whole. It's all about accountants opening up, sharing their experiences, what they like, what they don't like, what works for them, what hasn't worked for
Yeah.
them, so that everyone else running an accounting firm can like take that and apply that to their own business. It's not, let's all build the same business because there's one way to build it. No, it's so just prefacing this is like from Dawn's experience and from my opinion, what I personally have liked and taken away from it is that um good riddance. If someone is shopping around for prices and they see my prices and that's a turn off and they don't want to work with me, good riddance. Because the people who are simply there for price shopping and don't care about the quality or the processes or the people and the values that they're working with or like the full picture package, they're not going to be happy with me with whatever I do. Like the minute I make a mistake, the minute I raise a price, the minute they want more and I'm telling them that I'm gonna have to charge more because they want more, they're walking away. Or the minute they find someone who's cheaper, which guaranteed
Yeah,
you will find someone who is cheaper than my firm if you're
same.
looking for it. So the minute that happens, they're walking away.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think a lot of it has to do with being confident in your prices, confident in putting them out there because you know that the value of what you have to offer and the value of working with your company is worth that price.
Yeah.
And the right clients will see that.
And well, and I guess it goes back to like for me, defining my ideal client isn't just there because of the price that I'm offering. They are there for the full package and price is part of that. Like
Yeah,
I'm not saying ignore the price. I don't want my clients to ignore the price. I want them to be looking at their numbers. As their accountant, I want them to be looking at their numbers. But I am saying if they're just there for the price, to me, that's not my ideal client. My ideal
yeah,
client cares a lot more about other things too. So to some people, you might want to be playing the pricing game, especially accountants who are just starting out. I get
for
that
sure.
you might be playing a pricing game of just let me get my foot in the door, let me get some clients so that I have like street cred almost so that I can say like, yeah, these are the clients I work with, or even just finding out what you like to do, what you don't like to do.
Yeah,
Like
you're
there's a
testing.
yeah, there's a lot of different reasons with starting out that you're experimenting on different things that you don't care if someone's price shopping. You'll take them.
Yeah.
But like just be aware of that.
Yeah. And I think also whenever you have your prices listed as part of that package, Dawn, kind of like you're saying, it's like part of the whole package. You've got your services, you've got the pricing. They've basically reviewed that package before they're hopping on the discovery call. And I know in my
Yeah.
experience, when we've done it that way, on the discovery call, we're making next steps for them to get onboarded. They already know what
Yes.
the price is, they know what the services are. They've agreed to that almost before they're on the call. When we're on the call, we're making sure that we're a good fit, and then we're ending the call with next steps.
Yeah.
And previously, when I didn't have the price on the website, most of those calls ended in them needing to then go think about the price to make sure that
Yes.
it fit in their budget or to make sure that they were comfortable with it in one way or another. And then us having to follow up to then create next steps because I know that there's a lot of sales tactics. I think this is like the devil's advocate kind of thing again, because I can hear some sales coaches in my mind saying things like, well, get them to close on the call, even though that's the first time they're hearing the price. There are plenty of ways that you can still get the close on the call. So I don't want people to say, I don't want people to shy away from that if you are really adamant about not putting your prices on your website. But
Mhm.
I want people to feel super comfortable with our pricing in the package and not feel like they were kind of forced into a decision by the end of the call. And then, kind of like Dawn was saying earlier, they're questioning every time we have to increase prices or anytime they feel like the services don't meet the value in which they want it to because they feel like the price was a stretch. I feel like it creates almost this at odds because the price was a surprise versus
Yeah.
when they're attracted in and they're agreeing to that full package, including the price, they're feeling really good about everything going into onboarding.
Yeah. No, I hear you there. And again, that's one of my biggest draws to keeping price on my website is I would rather get on less discovery calls and have higher close rates than get on
Yeah.
more discovery calls with lower close rates. Like
Yeah.
my my time's valuable.
Yeah. And so
Okay.
our clients, right? The potential
Yeah.
clients, we want to respect their time too, and make sure that they aren't getting on a call that's going to waste their time if it's not something that they're going to say yes to
Yeah.
or
Which
consider.
Ashley, you said this before to me that when you're hiring a service provider, you're not going to get on a call if you don't know the price because you feel like that might be a waste of time. You don't want that shock. You don't want to waste their time. You don't want to waste your time. Right. And I feel that
Yeah.
same way of I'm not going to hop on a call
I want to
and
know.
say I'm interested if I don't know the full details of what I'm interested in.
Yeah, because then I don't know if I'm interested.
Yeah.
I don't know all the
So,
details. Yeah.
so I feel that. Okay. One more thing that I want to say on this, or at least I think it's just one more thing. Is you had kind of mentioned this before. I don't exactly remember what you said, but you mentioned something about like you don't feel comfortable putting your prices on the website, like explore that or something along those lines. And I just want to bring us back to that too. Oh, you said have confidence in
Yeah.
what you're offering and the prices. And I want to bring us back to that because some of it is a confidence thing of like what you're
Yeah.
offering. So some of it is a money mindset thing. And I think as accountants, if you haven't explored the world of money mindset, go do yourself and your clients the favor of exploring the world of money mindset and energetics. Sometimes as accountants, we're so stuck in this masculine logistical side of
Um,
money and numbers and finances that we forget that there is actually a whole psychology behind it too. And so if for any reason, like if we're saying all this and like logically you're like nodding along, like, yeah, that makes sense, that, yeah, that makes sense, but you're still feeling blocks around putting your prices on your website, I'm gonna I'm gonna take a wild guess and say it's not a strategy thing, it's a mindset thing then, which is a very personal thing. We're not gonna dive into that today. But just know like there's different reasons and different blocks that some of
yeah.
us like to see numbers and some of us don't like to see numbers. And so maybe it's less strategic for you and more actually like subconscious something that you're doing. Um, so just opening up that can of worms and putting that out there too.
And just, I think sometimes maybe, especially in the early days, like I'm trying to think back to like when Ashley first started and what I was feeling in those like early years of running my business.
Yeah.
And I think I was nervous to be bold because I think in my mind, especially when I was
Yeah.
bringing on my first book of clients, it's not like I would take on anyone for any price, but like if I felt like they were going to be hesitant to a price, I might lower it to say like, okay, I'm
Yeah.
going to lower it to bring this client on.
Yeah.
And in the beginning, I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. I think we could go onto a whole tangent about making sure that you are pricing yourself well so that you are not doing unpaid work.
Yeah.
But I do think when you're kind of testing out your pricing, testing out the types of clients that you work with, I still think you can put a starting price on your website. But I think being bold and being confident in what your prices are and knowing that the work that you do is worth that price. Um, Again, that is just so wrapped up in all the money mindset work. So to
It
Dawn's
is.
point, if you agree with the strategy of putting it on the website, but you still have a block for it, go explore that.
Yeah. And this also kind of goes back to like boundaries and standard processes too, right?
Yeah.
When we were solopreneurs, way easier, just like, oh yeah, you can pay me this and you can pay me
Yep.
this and you can pay me this. Now that we've got teams and it's like this person's salary is because they're going to serve this many clients. Sorry, this is the price.
Yeah,
Like,
like we have to do it for this. There's a
yeah.
reason the price is set. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Like it's a little bit less like, okay, I can't just do charity work for you
Yep.
because my employee's not going to just do charity work for me. Like these are my expenses, these are my prices for a reason.
Yeah.
Um, I found myself as my team grew, we got a lot more strict on everything, on all of our processes, on all of our prices, on family stuff where it was like, "Oh, yeah, you just send us that," or, like, how people were submitting documents, it was like, "Yeah, you can send it to us this way, and you can do it this way, and you can do it this way." And now it's like, "No, here's this one way that we're gonna do it," and I feel like prices are in that boat too of our prices are our prices for a reason, and we're gonna standardize it, and it's the same
Yep.
for everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. It just becomes necessary. So I
Mhm.
think coming back to the big question of the episode of should you or should you not put your prices on your website, the decision is up to you ultimately. You have to decide what feels the most authentic to you, the most authentic to your brand, to your company, and what you feel like serves your ideal client the best.
Yep. And we haven't said this, but if you take a look at mine and Ashley's websites, you'll see most of our prices. It's not one flat price. It
Yeah.
says starting at a certain
Yep.
price because every client's going to be different and prices will fluctuate based on their needs or their add-ons or
Yep.
difficulty, either difficulty of the client or difficulty of the work being performed. And so leave room for that fluctuation, but just give a ballpark and a range is what we're saying works for us and our models and the clients that we're trying to attract based on our personalities and what we like.
Yes, yes.
So,
And truly, everything you do as part of the selling process should appeal to your ideal client. So,
mhm,
taking their thought process into consideration is a big deal.
it is. It is. Hey, any other thoughts, pointers, devil advocate, questions that you want to ask Ashley, things you want to bring up?
I think that's it for this one.
Okay, I love it. I love this discussion. Can't wait to hear what others have to say about this. And thanks for joining us for another episode of Accountants Lounge. Be sure to join the Facebook group. And that's where we have a host of discussions, and you can post your own questions in there and get
Yes.
feedback and join discussions. And then also be sure to like and subscribe for more episodes. I can't wait. We'll see you next time.